we've just created. So we're going to import these. But we can put them all on one layer if we want. They're on this layer here. That's fine. But we do need to bring this data in. Remember, we must use this input layer. So you can see in there, we need to make sure we've got this data in. And look, it's bringing through that extra added data as well. So the building heights relative H2, for example. All right, so it's going to bring that in as well. So I think we're good to go on this. We don't need to do a spatial filter. We don't need to tick that this time because we created them as lines, didn't we? So they're not polygons anymore. So I think we're good to go on this one. So we'll hit OK. Zoom extents. There's my buildings. Let's just randomly pick one and check its properties. And there's the data and there's the building height. All in here. OK. So there's the relative H2, 8.8 meters tall, whatever that building is there. Brilliant. Right, okay, let's save this drawing because there's more we can do in this. So I'll just save this drawing as processed and I'll just call this one CAD buildings with building heights. And then we'll move on. Okay, so now we have our drawing here in CAD format, all flat 2D, and they have that attribute information on it. We can actually alter them properties in AutoCAD without doing any spatial stuff. And we do this in Map Explorer. And what we can do here, if I go back and get that, is we can just drag the CAD file into here. And this will connect to the CAD file, and then we can do spatial queries and property queries and all sorts. If I was just to right click it and I was to do a quick view, I could also zoom extent of it. There it is, that's what it is. And if I pick on it, it looks like it's a block. It's not actually in the drawing. If I did a regen, it'll just disappear. We haven't brought it into the drawing. So what we're going to do is we're going to query into the drawing. And the first thing is I want the whole lot, don't I? But I could do a location query here, but I don't. I'm just going to go location all. And then, okay, so it's going to bring them all in. And now I want to alter the properties. So we'll go and alter properties. And the first thing is I want to change the elevation of the polyline. So I want the bottom of the building to be on the level. And if you remember from the data that I added to it, that will be absolute minimum. So we'll click in elevation and we'll use an expression. Let that open, there it is. And we'll go and find that object data, there it all is. And we're going to say that the elevation is the absolute minimum level. And we're going to add that in. And then the other thing we can do is we can change the thickness of the line, can't we? So if I then say thickness expression, and that one will be from the base of the building to the eaves. We'll do it to the eaves. So that will be relative H2 and add that one in. And then hit OK. Now in this way, we can either preview it and have a look in preview mode or draw it. So it's often worth just previewing it and then rerunning the query. It'll remember what you did last time and then do it. I'll just go straight and draw it though this time and make sure that that is ticked, that it will alter the properties. Because if you preview it, it won't alter them. So execute query. There they are. And if I spin that into 3D, we should see the buildings. They're all at different levels because they're at the height of bottom of the building. And they are also, they're polylines. We have a look, it's just a polyline, but the polyline has a thickness. Now what I want to do is I want to make them into solids. Now before we convert them to a solid, they have to be closed polylines. Now I know right at the beginning when I imported the master map data, I said make polygons closed polylines. However, in the process of importing them into shape files and exporting them and then into SDF files and exporting them, there won't be closed polylines anymore. Let's just double check. And if we see they're closed,